You guys got me all riled after that last comment. The HAMMERFIST podcast here live at MMA Fight Pass from Selma, California at the Spike and Rail. We got a full house tonight, people. It's going to be a hell of a show. So stick around, tell a friend, and we got the Selma wrestling team here. These guys are all decorated at 1.1 level, and basically they're really starting their journey right now. We're going to get little questions answered. A lot of you people have tried to ask us to share, so we're going to do that tonight. Our producer Archie Tovar is going to join us tonight. Tom Owens was unable to get this night off as far as the schedule, but we're going to make things happen. It's going to be interesting. All right.
All right. Hey, welcome everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started by just pretty much introducing everyone starting from our far right all the way through. So, Tristan, this is your first. Let us know, Tristan, what's going on. If you're still in high school, your goals for next year, and then go ahead.
Okay. My name is Tristan Lujan. I'm an incoming junior at Selma High School, and my goals next year is to be a high school state champ.
Nice.
I'm ALLEIDA Martinez, and I'll be attending Menlo College.
Cool.
I'm MELANIE MENDOZA, and I'm going to be an incoming junior. My goals is to be a state champ.
Nice.
My name's CHELSY Mendoza. I'm going to be a senior, and my goal is to be a state champ.
All right.
My name's Robert AREYANO, and I will be attending Central College in Iowa.
I'm Tyler Sepulveda, and I'm going to be a sophomore next season, and my goal is to make a world team.
My name is Tony Mendoza. I'll be attending NIAAC in Iowa, and my goal is to be a national champ.
All right, Chris, take us to the first one.
All right, man. Hey, a lot of people are concerned. They want to know, what are the toughest teams you have faced, through this journey. I'm sure there's a lot of teams out there, especially in all the different areas that you got to go and compete at. We'll go ahead and start on this side this time. Go ahead.
I think I'm kind of stuck on that one. Let's give one to him.
Repeat that question, Chris, so we can make sure we got it.
What are some of the toughest teams that you've went up against?
I'd have to say, I remember I wrestled this kid from Colorado. He was probably one of the toughest guys I've probably wrestled. He's ranked number 1 in the nation right now. So yeah, he's no joke. He's a real deal.
Team-wise, I feel like in the state of California, it's probably Buchanan and those closest schools. Like them just having that support and everything that they need to be successful is really hard to compete with that. But we still compete with them very good and ended up in the top 5 with those big schools at the state tournament.
All right, Chelsea, you're up. So what are some of the goals you have for the upcoming season? And, you mentioned something about being a state champ, but tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, my family, like my older sister and my older brother, they always been like in this finals their senior year. So I think this is my chance.
To make it to the finals, all right, good. All right, Melanie, actually, she just talked about you.
No, well, we have another sister. She was a state champ, but I want to be a state champ too because she's the only one in my house that's a state champ.
All right, nice. ALLEIDA, you've had some goals and you've set a lot of goals, and but there's always more goals to set. Tell us a little bit about.
And hopefully bring a national title to Menlo.
All right, great. Tristan.
Okay, well, obviously in high school your goal is to be a state champ, but other than that, my goal is to have good grades too, because grades are a lot for me going into college.
And I want to do a little segue on grades because grades are important. I mean, we've all, as parents and students, sometimes they don't understand the concept of grades and what it takes to go to the next level. Tristan, tell us a little bit about, and if you're already going to college, tell us about your continuing education and what you're majoring on if you're going to college. And if you're in high school, Tristan, tell us a little bit about what it takes to want to go to college and study while you're an athlete.
Well, it's tough to be an athlete and maintain your grades at the same time, but it's capable. It's really capable. And I think I would want to go into law and be a lawyer, maybe have a firm or be a sports agent after I go through college.
Nice, nice. ALLEIDA, what are some of the educational, you've already qualified to go to college, so therefore you did what you had to do in high school to get those grades, but now that you're in college, what are some of the educational dreams that you do have?
Yeah, it was tough, but I ended my senior year with a 4.0, so it was great. And I'm undeclared in what I want to do for my major, but I want to go into something with business.
Nice. Melanie, you're next.
I just really want to have good grades. Like, they were good my freshman year, and they just started going down. I just want to bring that back up.
Yeah, you know, and as an athlete, it's tough to keep your grades up, and regardless if you have low grades, high grades, you know, you still got to keep working hard. Melanie, Chelsea, tell us a little bit about your educational goals, dreams, aspirations. Maybe, you know, what do you want to do?
I kind of want to do be an athletic trainer and just work in there. Maybe a physical therapist or something in those lines.
Chris, take it over there.
What do you guys, as far as, you know, everybody knows grades, and you all have to have some grades or else you wouldn't even be able to compete, even in high school. But with your vision to the next level, you know you're going to have to step up the grades. But knowing wrestling, and man, it takes a lot of dedication as far as training, and especially traveling and tournaments. I mean, it's unreal. How do you manage that?
It first starts off with the mindset. You just have to have a tough mindset. Like, you can't be easily broken down by something so small when you really think about it. Like, you just got to toughen up, and you're gonna have to come home after practice and you have to do homework. You have to get it done, or else it's just, I think if you do that after you're finished with homework, after doing a tough practice, that's going to make you a tougher person mentally and overall. And it's just for the best if you do it. That's how
Tyler.
Tony, how do you manage?
So
How do you manage
I
homework?
think what I didn't figure out until my senior year was time management. So I have practice, and then what I would like to do is, like, I'd get into class, and then after class was done, I'd try to get my homework done so I don't have to do it after practice. I can just relax. So I think the important part about going into high school is getting the time management down. So you can figure out, like, you have a schedule, you go by that schedule, you know what you're gonna do throughout the day, and then that will help you. Like, get
You kids ever have tutors? They ever
I
step
didn't.
up
I
to?
kinda wish I kinda did, but it didn't work out. I mean, I wish I had tutors, but because I wasn't really good in math, and that's why I was struggling a lot. So, but it all worked out in the end.
Yeah, it's like I was like that when I was in high school. I played football, and in my freshman year, making that transition, man, I messed up, man, real bad, and got to the point where they contacted my parents, and I met with them before I even went back to school, and the coach came to me and said, you know, you're not going to be able, you only have made 15 credits last year. How are you going to make up for all those, you know, classes that you're supposed to qualify, you know, like that. So kind of, you know, it was they at that time they had a class called an opportunity class, which I got really lucky, and met the teacher that came to my house, and folks, and they said, you know, it's up to you. If you don't do it, then you just don't play. You know, it's just that simple. So, but yeah, a lot of dedication, man, and I thank God for that, because it changed me around, and the rest is history, man. I ended up becoming two-time defensive player of all Orange County, and then went to Arizona State and became two-time All-American at my size, you know, as a nose guard. So, but it could be done, man, and you know, for you guys to have a clear vision, and then at the age you are right now, I grew up in Huntington Beach, California, a lot of temptation. And in that area, we come, highly regarded, especially like for football. And so it was a lot of pressure, and I had family members like the girls and some of you that kind of we looked up to. And it was tough. There was a time where I thought, man, this ain't going to happen. But it all turned out. I graduated before the regular class in February of the year I was supposed to graduate. So I got real lucky, but it changed because I am, once I graduated, I got a degree in law, criminal law, and then a minor in business. And today, I've been self-employed for 30-some years, one of the biggest shops in the country. And but it was that foundation that I learned, that opportunity right there. But being the age that you guys are right now, there's so many temptations. Dating, I mean, it's just like, if you're gonna do that, man, it's just like I tell a lot of guys that I advise when they turn like pro as far as for fighting, that because a lot of them are young and a lot of them were a lot of negative on the street, so they turn to the street because that was showing them respect and giving them love. So we try to give them an out, and once they realize that's a good opportunity, and a lot of them didn't make it, but there's some that do, and some of them that became real successful. But I said, you know what, there's going to be a lot of temptations. You guys got some were young parents, man, 16 years old and already a father, and you want to be a pro athlete. Man, you can't even commit to a job yet, So yeah, your life, it's not about you no more. It's about that responsibility. So yeah, I mean, props to you guys, man. Keep your vision, and not to say relationships you can't have, but I know just for the, it is. And it, like you said earlier, it is a mindset. And it's not that you're going to be better than anybody. It's that your standards are higher, and you need to bust your butt every day to maintain that standard. And that's, if I can give you any advice, that's what it is, man. Each one teach one, because we all teach each other. That's what it's about. But is there any things you guys like to do outside of the wrestling deal?
You guys are always
Or
training.
something you're thinking in the back of your mind you want to do? Because I mean, sure, like I said, here we are, temptation again. You see a lot of kids your age, a lot of things going on. You hear a lot of stuff, and your mind like going, God, just one time,
All of us like to get together and play Fortnite, but
Oh, you guys,
Tony can't. 'cause you don't
that
have-
plays
he has an
taking
Xbox.
over. That game's taking over.
But yeah, that's one of the things we like to do as a team.
Oh, that's cool.
So one thing that if you guys had to compliment each other on, be it having fun, be it training hard, be it dieting, be it a student, Tony, pick somebody, if not from the table, from your team, and we'll go down the table. Give some props to your teammate because of X reason, and mention the person. Go ahead.
I'd have to give this guy and then this guy and then Ramos and Jonathan Ramos and two and all those guys. I grew up wrestling with them, and we all just came together. We all just got each other better, and we got each other to where we are now. So it's pretty cool how we did that. Like not many teams can do like what we did in Selma. So I'd have to say that was a pretty awesome thing.
Hey Tyler, what stands out in your mind? You're young freshman going sophomore.
Kind of like what Tony said. We just everybody in the room getting each other better. Can't beat that.
It's like a real family. It's like we see each other every day, outside and inside the room. It's like they're really family. It's just that's what stands out to me about us. Like all of us as one. It's just one big family since we were like 4 years old.
Well, Chelsea, we know you guys are all family, but if you had to pick, a member from your team that for their hard work or for their education or just anything in general, who do you think that would be for you?
Would be my sister, because whenever we practice with each other, we're always like fight, so it gets us like more aggressive and
Gets you better?
yeah.
All right. Melanie.
I don't know, like everyone like how they said, like everyone gets each other better. Like we go with different people all the time, and we don't always go with the same people. So yeah.
Okay. Tell us a little bit.
I would say Gracie, because me and her always travel a lot and we're mostly together all the time, so she's like a sister to me.
Yeah, Gracie and you have competed in some high-level tournaments, and do you feel she's part of the reason that you have competed as well as you have been?
Yeah, she always has my back, and we're always just watching out for each other. So.
Nice, nice. Tristan.
Okay, like they all said, I would give props to my whole team, but one guy that stands out is Jace. Jace really does work hard, and he gets the room better with just his intensity, and he really deserves to be where he's at right now.
Nice, nice. What do you think?
Man, it's just there's a million things going through my mind right now. I mean, of things I want to ask. What do you think? I mean, obviously, you guys have all came through the Selma Youth program. What do you think that's made the success for so long of that organization?
The dedication of coaches and parents just all helping with like payments for like the wrestling gym that we need to train. I just want to thank them all, because without them we wouldn't be where we are. Like no wrestling room, no wrestling, no training, no hard work, just all that. I just want to give them props for most of it.
Yeah, behind the scenes, it's all the coaches and the parents. That's kind of, I'd say that's why we have, like, we've become like the best like in the state, because all the parents and the coaches, they dedicated their time and their money just in us. They invested in us, and
Their whole life,
the stock
basically.
just blew up. And we're here now, and then me and Rob going to Iowa, and then ALLEIDA going to Menlo. We all grew up to each other, and we had all those parents still here, still helping, and that's just how it is. And we got the youth right now, it's the same thing, so we're going to go through the same process.
That was their goal since day one, to get us a wrestling gym, make sure we're working hard to get to college. That's the main goal. Get kids to college. since
Good
day one.
deal. So, God's willing, you know, you guys have your day, and you know things work out, and you know you get to the age where you start to work. Is that something you're going to invest right back into when you get that opportunity? That youth program, you think, kind of set the foundation for what all you guys are coming from?
Yeah, but what we have planned is when we're all done with school, is we're gonna come back to Selma and just rebuild like everything. So like me and Rob been talking about this. So like after we're done with school and all that, we want to come back.
Hopefully we have a wrestling room by then.
Yeah, we want to come back and just start from scratch, just build the team all the way to just how like the coaches did with us. They stuck with us from when we were young to high school. So that's me and Rob were talking about doing. So we want to do that. Just how they did it, we just want to do the same.
Give back.
What about down there?
Go ahead and repeat the question just in case.
Like the road you're going to right now, it breeds a lot of success, and you continue to keep the grind going. Get to the point in your life where, you know, tail end is already coming. You know, you're adults now. You know, you got maybe a little family, whatever. You're working, and is it the program that you came from, the youth program, Selma? Is that something you think you're going to reinvest back in?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I just want to give what I got when I was younger. We all got a lot of support from everybody, parents, coaches, and I just want the kids to feel that same thing and know that they have us.
So what do you think, ALLEIDA?
To just give back to what gave to you, and they helped me get to college, so I'll always come back and just help. You know.
Yeah, like I actually want to come back, and I want my kids to wrestle for Selma too, so like they can be in the same thing that we went through.
Do you guys plan on moving back to Selma or somewhere else, and then bring your kids to Selma?
We'll see.
I haven't thought that far.
But I mean, you know, because I know, you know, there's the vision to everybody is to get out.
Yeah.
You know, And that's what I had to end up in Central California. That's where, what the hell? But, you know, it's whatever it is, if it brings you back home, it's for a purpose, I think. You know, there's a reason for it. So you just kind of not try to figure it out, you just go with that journey. But if you do and make it better, because I know, Selma, there's a lot of issues going on, man. I was law enforcement for 25 years and did a lot of cases here, and it's still going on. But, you know, and God bless you guys for crossing that road and doing something positive, because there's a lot of kids out there your age that haven't seen that light, and unfortunately probably won't, you know. But to come back and be a voice of something positive, that it's possible with dedication, that I think that's huge, man. That's priceless. So yeah, I appreciate you guys' mindset on something like that. That's huge.
Yeah, I want to touch a little bit on eating habits, guys.
Oh.
I mean, you know, we all know not just this sport, but mixed martial arts, boxing, judo. I mean, but especially wrestling. You guys go through a grind for about 3 or 4, maybe 5 months. Some people that do freestyle, you know, it's a long season. Just, you know, one at a time. You know, who helps you with your diet? Who do you want to thank for your diet? And what kind of diet do you have? Go for it, Tristan. I know you've been going at it for a while.
I don't really have a diet. I just kind of eat whatever. But
That's good.
as I'm going along, I'm noticing that the diet helps you a lot, and I do need to get a better diet. But my mom and dad, they feed me good, so that's what I need. I get the energy I need for practice and stuff.
Nice. ALLEIDA, what kind of diet, eating habits are going on with you?
It's hard. I don't know. My mom always meal preps for me, so she helps me out a lot. So it helps. But when I'm gone or away, it's difficult.
Melanie, what kind of stories do you have?
Well, I usually have to be on a diet because like I'm always overweight a lot. So like my brother always helps me like control my weight with like a diet.
So you're cutting weight. How much pounds do you cut? I mean, I know everybody cuts differently, but what about you?
It depends, honestly, how much I eat over the weekend.
Yeah, that's one of the things, guys, that wrestlers, they have a tournament on Saturday. Over the weekend, you know, they get to eat a little bit, work out during the week. Next Saturday, another tournament. So it's a grind. You know, we mentioned the grind. It's about 3, 4, 6, 7 months for some. Chelsea, tell us a little bit about it.
I wasn't really on a diet, but if I was, I would be my older brother. He'd always help us out.
Chris, take it.
How about you guys, as far as diets, who's helped you out?
My parents definitely helped me out with my diet, and like dieting is just hard overall. Like especially during wrestling season, because you have school and you have all this food up over there, like people around you eating. It's like, man, can I get some of those chips? But
Yeah.
it's like, well, it's gonna cost you, but it's definitely hard doing it during school. But yeah, it makes you tougher, a better person, or more disciplined. So.
Yeah.
I just, you know, dieting's pretty hard itself, you know, and what I do to stay on my diet is just eat some ramen and some tuna, and just get the weight all last minute.
Some people do that though. They're crazy.
I never really had to go like on a real like diet, but I tend to like when I would cut weight during the season, I would just like miss like a meal or two, or I didn't really have to do a whole lot. I kind of just made sure that I didn't eat too much because I knew how much was too much and like too little. It's like if you eat too little, you don't have enough energy. You eat too much, you're too much overweight. So.
And you know, guys, with that eating habit, you know, as you become more professionals in college, you'll have more help to your coaches, nutritionists to help you guys with your diets. Professional athletes, you know, there's people that make a living to help you guys eat well, and you guys will learn, you know, that diet is important, right, Chris? What do you think about your diet?
Yeah, I know, because I always work real hard, you know, as far as for business. I always wanted to, obviously, like everybody, want a comfortable life, provide to do whatever, go whatever. More material things, which I learned my lesson, and but health is got to be first, no matter what you do. The 3 years ago, I became a stage 5 kidney patient. I only had 6% function of my kidneys because I wasn't eating healthy, dehydration, all that kind of stuff. And I never had no symptoms of it. I just woke up one day, I went, do what you do in the morning. Wife and I said, hey, you gonna go to the office? It was a Saturday. And I came out, and I didn't even know where I was, man. My sugar went to 41, and my youngest daughter's a nurse. Came, did my vitals. They thought I had a stroke. They checked my sugar was 41. And then, so that following Monday, I went to see my primary care doctor. They did the labs and went to work. And then when I came home, they sat me down and said, you got to go on dialysis, man. You only have 6% function of your kidneys. And me, working for the coroner's office, I've seen the end result of what happens to dialysis. So I've been thinking, wow, I wasn't educated that much on it. And from that point, first 2 months, man, I didn't think I was going to make it, man. But here we are 3 years later. A lot of people don't even know I am. But it is mindset, man. You can do it. So there is no tomorrow. If I can have for that advice, stay healthy. At the end of the day, it's not the material things. Obviously, it's support, strong faith, and your health. Because without that, I got the material things, do whatever, cars, what all. Can't buy me a kidney.
At the end of the day, it's your health.
No, it
That's
doesn't
fine.
do anything. But, what we see now, and especially like the young kids, oh man, I gotta have the bling, gotta have it, and all that. But at the end of the day, man, if you get sick, man, there is no tomorrow, man. You just gotta be thankful and blessed that you have that opportunity and take advantage of it. And what you're doing right now, that risk always runs high, dehydration, and just stay on your game, man. Don't lose track of your vision, and stay healthy.
All right. Hey, guys, you guys go through hundreds of matches, throughout the year, or at least over 50, 60, some of you guys. Combined, you guys probably have over 1,000 matches last year.
Wow.
Yeah. And you guys compete a lot. Everyone here has had their last tournament. You guys want to talk a little bit about maybe your last tournament and or your most memorable accomplishment for this past season? Go for it, Tristan.
All right, my last tournament wasn't good, so I'm gonna go back a little bit.
Sure. There you go.
My last good tournament was World Team Trials. I took 7th. I could have been better, but it was a pretty big accomplishment to know that you're up there with the top guys in the states.
What weight class did you go in that one?
It was 51 kilos, so it was like 112.2 was the weight.
7th place. Heck yeah, that's up there. You're knocking on the door.
Yeah.
Nice. ALLEIDA.
My most memorable one would be state, my last year. It was just it was exciting but sad at the same time. It was just so many emotions put together in one match. It was awesome.
So that would be your 4-time state champ, right?
Yeah.
For high school girls state champ. Nice. Great. Melanie.
My last tournament was Fargo, and I took 4th. And yeah, it was this year, and I was really proud of myself because last year I took 7th. So.
Yeah, Fargo is one of the largest national tournaments, the granddaddy at the end of the season tournaments for freestyle. And Selma's always, most recently Selma's been taking a lot of wrestlers. So that's amazing. Nice accomplishment there. Chelsea.
Mine would probably be World Team Trials. I placed 5th. So it was pretty memorable because last year I didn't even place.
Wow. World Team Trials, National, World Team Trials. That's amazing accomplishments. Go for it, Chris. Take it on.
Major accomplishments, man, in the last tournament then.
My last tournament was, or my most memorable tournament
Yeah.
this season was definitely the state tournament. I placed finally, out of all 4 years, I was having trouble placing or something didn't go my way and I didn't get to wrestle at the state tournament, and just that kind of got me down. But I just knew I had to make this, I had to go all out this season, so I didn't hold anything back. I had fun out there, knowing that I'm just trying stuff. Like I just felt free out there finally this season, and it paid off. And I remember after that last match, like I wasn't sad that I lost my last match because I knew I placed. I just knew like it was over, or like it was all over. Like all that hard work, like it paid off. It was like kind of like happy crying, but
Yeah.
like sad at the same time because like it's over. Like, it's all
Satisfaction,
over.
yeah.
But yeah, it was great. It was a really, really memorable weekend.
Nice.
My most memorable tournament this season would probably be the state tournament too. I mean, I didn't do so well, but I'm glad I got to enjoy it with some of the people that I've been around, you know, my whole life. You know, it was really memorable.
I'd also have to say the state tournament, but the reason is because California State is one of the toughest state to win, so I think that's why all of this thing like state tournament is memorable. So the reason it's for me is because I was a state finalist. It didn't go my way, but still even making the state finals is pretty awesome. It's an awesome feel when you're up there on the stage and like the whole, everyone's just watching you and you got one bat, you have the light, just the spotlight on you, just it's
Like no
amazing.
other.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing. I've never felt like that before, and just going out there doing my thing, just it's awesome.
Nice. Chris, you want to take us out for commercial?
Yeah, I was just gonna say to check it. All right, we're gonna take a break, pay some bills here. We want to shout out to Spike and Rail for making this happen. If you guys are in the area or even want to join us in the studio and say you're hungry, just go up there, mention MMA Fight Pass, and they'll knock off 15% on your meal. And we'll be right back with more of the Selma wrestling team. To the HAMMERFIST podcast here on MMA Fight Pass live from the Spike and Rail in Selma, California. We're here with the Selma wrestling team asking some questions. You know, got a big UFC coming up. How many of you guys watch the UFC at all? Any? All? So you guys are up to date. Okay, so you got the main event, or not even. Well, I guess who's the main event? Dillashaw is the main event.
There you go.
What do you think are the keys for Dillashaw to maintain his belt in this fight? Keys to victory.
Oh, the keys?
Yeah.
Oh.
What he needs to do to make it successful here.
He made good adjustments last fight. Like going to the second round, like it was a whole different round. Because first round, I felt like Cody had that whole round. He knocked him
Yeah,
down and everything.
yeah.
And the second round was all TJ. That's why I feel like if he makes the same adjustments as he did from first round to second round, I feel like he's too good to be stopped.
Who do you think is going to win?
I want Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got Cody. We got Cody. I mean, TJ's a California guy, but I gotta say Cody. I like Cody more. He's a scrapper. I like him. I know he's gonna come back and get his belt back, so it should be a good fight.
How about down here?
I think TJ Dillashaw's gonna win, but just because he could adjust more to an environment and adapt more to different fighting styles.
Ladies?
I don't really watch UFC.
Okay. Okay, then
You know,
what?
there's Titania Suarez is going to fight on that card, and
Oh,
she's,
yeah,
she's
wrestler.
an ex-USA wrestling gal. She's fighting Carla Esparza from Southern California. Any of you ladies have heard of Titania Suarez?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think about Titania? She's fighting. Do you want her to win?
Yeah.
There you go. Good, good.
We got some more. Actually, someone I'm sure that probably helped you guys out a little bit, and he's on the prelims, Alex Perez.
He's one of those guys that he still finds time to come into the room and just roll around with us. Like, I mean, he can't like hurt him or anything because he's gonna be a big shot, but
You just learn a lot from him.
It's just awesome to think that we have a UFC fighter coming in and
Who
just
coached
rolling
us
up.
like our whole freshman
Yeah.
year.
Means a lot to you guys. That's awesome, and I'm sure Alex, knowing him, I mean that's a motivation for him.
Jace is out there with Alex right now. Working on it.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Oh,
Jace
okay.
Lucha. Yeah, he's working.
Good.
He shipped him out 3 days ago.
Good deal. Well, the co-main event, Demetrius Johnson and Henry, man.
Henry Cejudo, gold wrestler, USA
No
wrestler.
one's beating Demetrius Johnson.
I mean, the first fight didn't last very long, you know, but Henry says he's adjusted, man, and he's ready to fight this time.
Gas
So,
tank now.
yeah, so.
Demetrius is definitely the GOAT. they even set
So
up a
fast.
tournament for him to see who can beat him, and no one's in.
Yeah.
No.
This is,
I
this
feel like
is
he should, if he wins, if he beats Henry, or when he beats Henry, and I think he should move up and then fight TJ.
have that
TJ
big,
or
that
Cody.
super fight, yeah,
and
that
take
super
both
fight.
belts.
I think
Yeah,
that's
that-
what
that-
everybody
that's-
likes.
That's a money fight right there.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
and I think that's what's gonna happen, and after that, he'll probably retire. Because this is his 12th defense. No one
Yeah.
in the history
No
of
one's touched him.
MMA has ever defended their title 12 times. How about down here?
Well, I want Henry Cejudo to win because he's obviously a wrestler, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
I personally met Henry.
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Just
So-
recently, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. As a matter of fact, Henry Cejudo has history in Selma. Henry came and did a wrestling camp shortly after he won his gold medal in China. He came by to the wrestling room, and a lot of us were probably in that room.
I remember that. I was
Tell
on
us-
shoes. I was small.
Oh yeah, I had the shoes. I remember.
What do you remember about Henry when he came to Selma?
Yeah, yeah. I remember he even showed us like his medal and everything. It was awesome.
I remember getting the pizza during lunchtime.
So did Henry have any words of inspiration for you, or just that you talked to
He
him?
kind of just told me like, don't wait for anything to happen and go get it, and it's
Nice.
never too soon.
Cheers.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, Henry's a legend. So ALLEIDA was inducted to the High School Girls Hall of Fame this year.
Oh, nice, man.
And Henry, with
Congratulations.
Henry Cejudo, Stephen Abbas, Randy Couture was there. Couture. And,
Tell us a little bit about that experience, man.
It was different. It was just, everything was high class, and I don't know, everybody was just so important, and it made me feel like, dang, like I'm kind of important, but it was awesome.
A lot of work, man, dedication.
Who
That's
stood
the end
out?
result of it.
Who
You'll
stood
go
out
on.
from all the people you met there?
Henry, because he had like a background story, and it was just like inspiring.
Good deal. There's something.
Yeah, so you know, one of the questions that we had for you guys, are there any crazy stories that you guys have from, you know, traveling trips, hanging out with each other, you know, something you guys want to share? You guys have been together for so long. Some of you guys are taking off to college. Who wants to
Yeah,
share?
you don't have to tell the ones that you want them out there to really know, but just something you can.
We'll start on this side. We've been starting on that.
Save the real ones for the book. For the book.
Trying to remember this.
Tony, they're pointing at you.
I'm trying to remember this. I had so many.
That's okay.
Just make sure they're appropriate.
Yeah, he's gonna edit
You
it.
can skip me right now. I'll come back.
Okay, we'll start down here.
All right, Tristan, you got
Well,
you.
the best thing is always traveling and the hotel, being in the hotel with the team. We're always just making fun of each other, and it's just always a fun time.
Hotel stories, or ALLEIDA? What kind of stories?
Craziest stories, probably like cutting weight stories. I had this one friend when we went to Worlds, and she was like 8 over, and then she was good on weight, and then she hopped in the shower and drank like 2 pounds of water, and then she had to cut it right off again because weigh-ins was like in a couple of hours.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
The weight cutting stories. They're real. They're true. They're the real deal.
Honestly, when we travel, it's just like really fun because like we're all just like roasting on each other and like we're bonding with the teammates and the coaches and stuff.
Nice. Melanie, Chelsea,
We have more like weight cutting stories, but
give us a crazy weight cutting story.
probably
I think we all do.
probably it'd always be cutting Mally's hair, having her to make weight.
Well, did she make weight?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, put down here.
Alright, well, this one time, it was my sophomore year, and Ruben Garcia, he was number, like, top 2 in the state the whole year. He was like, he didn't lose to one California guy, and it was the league tournament, so you have to play, you have to make weight, or else if you don't make weight, you're not going to wrestle at, yeah, it's over, no
Oh,
state tournament.
wow.
So, we're all checking our weight, and then he steps on, and he's like 0.1 over, and he's like tripping out. And like he's like asking us like what he should do. Like the coach is on a meeting like talking, and he's like tripping out. We're like surrounding him. He's like, "What should I do? What should I do?" He starts running in place, like in his underwear. He's still in his underwear. He's like running in place, doing sprawls, and then he cuts his waist.
elastic part.
Yeah, the elastic part on his underwear. So it's like it's like all ripped and stuff, and he's like holding up his underwear.
It's like Tarzan.
Yeah, and then someone gives him a razor. He's like, "Should I do it? Should I do it?" He's like, "Should I cut my hair?" Like, because he's still over 0.1. And then I don't know, somehow he made it. I don't know how did that?
I think it was just from him freaking out so much that like he just.
That once Wayne's time came to it, he stepped on his right arm and he made it. So that was really scary because that would have been really bad to see him go out like that.
Probably the funniest story that I had. This year we took a trip to La Costa Canyon, and one of the guys, his hair was too long, so one of the coaches, Pepe.
Oh, no, yeah, wait. First day he had to wear a hair cap.
Yeah, he wore.
And he hated it, so he didn't want to take off his headgear because his hair cap would have came off. So he wore the headgear the whole time, just sitting down in the stands, and the whole first day. And after that, he's like, he wants to. You gotta tell the rest of this story.
He tells Pepe to cut his hair, and
So we went to Walmart, bought what, scissors?
shears, yeah, and they didn't come out too
We're
hot.
just in the hotel room. I just walk in, and Pepe's butchering his hair, and it just looks all bad. And Pepe's like, "Don't worry, bro, it looks good. I hooked you up." But I mean, got to do it.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
I remember this past year, me and Jason Lucha, we went to Iowa USA Nationals, and we were flying in on Wednesday, and Wednesday night we flew in. We flew from LA to Las Vegas. So we have a couple of days. Wayne's are at Friday, and so me and Jace are just not worrying, just eating whatever. We still have time, and then like we get to Las Vegas, we're sitting and eating with one of the coaches, and we're talking, and we find out that weigh-ins are actually on Thursday morning. So we start freaking out. Like, we just got done eating Popeyes and all that, and then so we finally get on the plane. We go to Iowa. We land, and then we go to Iowa State. We work out, and then after that workout, I was still like 6 over, and Jace was about like 9 over still. So we go to the hotel. It's like 10 o'clock already, and so me and him, we just put Aveline all over us, and we do the bath. We get that, and then we're still over. It's like already 12. We're still like, I was over 3.5. He was over like 4, I believe. And then we go to sleep like at 2 o'clock in the morning, and then we wake up really early because we're supposed to leave at 6, and so we woke up like at 3 or it was like 4, I think. And then we woke up that early. I did the bath again, and like after the first bath, I made weight. I was good, and then Jace was still a 1.5 pounds over. So yeah, he got on the treadmill, made him run, and then he was still a pound over after that. So then we had to gear up again and then go to weigh-ins because it was already Thursday morning, and so we had to go to weigh-ins, and he was running out there, and then finally we both made weight, and it was just a rough night. I only had like, yeah, and then I didn't do too good at that tournament. So
You beat a good guy though.
oh yeah, I beat the number 1 seed in the second round, and then after that
It was all over social media, and then throughout the day I looked to see if like how he's doing because he beat the number 1 guy. I expect him to like do big things, but no.
That was it.
I was recovered. I didn't recover from that wake up.
How many hours of sleep did you have that night?
I had like 2 hours.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
That's it.
Went out with a bang though.
Big Bob.
Go for it, Chris.
How about, is there any, I don't want to say, not raffles, but what do they do to help fundraise, like the team that may need help?
So any big fundraisers coming
Yeah,
up?
any
you say?
fundraisers you guys want to
Events,
shout
or-
out about, or?
I know like in the beginning of the season we sell like shirts and stuff. So we sell like a bunch of summer gear, and like people always want it, but they come like last minute.
Always
So-
look out for those fundraisers.
Yeah,
Like
so
throughout the season,
everybody-
we'll be selling gear.
So just people that are watching, just be aware that we'll be selling gear, nice gear, and if you guys want to buy it, you guys can come get it, represent Selma. It's awesome. Everybody wants a Selma t-shirt, no matter where you
I
are.
see random
Yeah, I
people
seen
walking
one.
around.
I want
Everybody in
one.
the street
I'll,
will see it.
I'll,
We don't know who it is. Just some
I don't know
guy
how they
wearing
get those
Selma
shirts, but-
t-shirt.
Yeah, I seen those, and I seen you guys wearing them. I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. I mean, no matter where I go, fighters always give me like their shirts. So
Yeah.
I show back on here, get advertisement, and then when I go to the fights, because I'm at cage side shooting, I'm a photographer. So
Do you have
everybody's
some wrestling shirt?
Huh?
Do you have some wrestling shirt, or you want one?
I want one. I like that one, bear down or
Yeah.
whatever. I
You
think
wear
that's
your next podcast.
that's an impulse, man. I think
Yeah.
that's awesome. And I'm involved in NHRA drag racing. My company, we actually service 32 of the top field teams, and we're working with the 10 teams right now, and 2 of the guys who represent are #1 in each division. So I'm there. I mean, we're going to finish up Seattle this weekend, which is a Western swing. So I'm on ESPN all the time, you know, because I'm out there and everything. And I always wear whatever. That's what people, dang, I seen them. Because I have a website called FU News. It's Fighting Unlimited News, but it's just too big. And when I sponsored my first guy and sent him my logo, he came out. He was on the main event of the UFC. It was the first fight on the main card, and he came out with a hat, FU News. Man, everybody's, I want one. And I said, it doesn't mean that. It's Fighting Liberty, just I can't fit all that on here. And the rest is history. What, October will be
Catch people's
17 years.
attentions.
17 years, man, since that. But yeah, so it happens. So, I mean, that goes everywhere. And then the association with these guys, that's what I want to make MMA Fight Pass get to that level as well. So, but yeah, I'd be proud and honored, man, to do that. Even if you guys could all sign it on there, that'd be awesome.
You know, these guys are trained year-round. They compete year-round. I think the last tournament was Fargo, but we still have one competitor on this table that has one tournament coming up, I believe, right? Maybe? Yep. Her name is ALLEIDA. ALLEIDA, tell us about that tournament that you have coming up. Again, these wrestlers here all on this table, they compete year-round, train year-round. I mean, at the highest levels. What tournament's coming up for you, ALLEIDA?
I have Junior Worlds coming up in Slovakia,
What date is that?
September 18th.
And repeat that country again?
Slovakia.
For all of us. Slovakia. All right. Is that in Russia or?
I haven't
Where's
even
that?
looked.
It's source, yeah, it's ahead of that area. When you go to those places like that, you gotta eat. What do you eat? You just take your own food?
Chicken strips.
Yeah,
You wish
like
it's chicken.
tuna or canned stuff.
Does the USA Wrestling organization provide
Yeah.
meals for you guys, or meal prepping or anything like that?
No, just whatever's there, what they can get there too. So it's
Really?
kind of hard. Yeah, it's different.
But you do have people helping you with the meals, I'm guessing, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, good. So that tournament, it's what weight class will you be going?
50 kilos.
50 kilos. All right, good. Still competing. You know, as a club, they're always getting donations. Is there a website, guys, where they can go and
Yeah,
maybe look for
a
telephone
website
numbers?
where they can go on there and check stuff out.
SelmaWrestling.com. You can check us out.
TeamSelma.com.
Team Selma, something like that.
So, SelmaWrestling.com, Team Selma Wrestling. Google it. There's an app also out there. There's contact numbers for donations. I mean, these guys are wrestling year round, and they every little bit helps, right, Chris?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, I'm sure the turnouts for your guys' tournament, especially, I know you got a huge, I guess, booster club or fan base and stuff like that too. So, and with them contributing, but there is a lot of businesses out there, and this is part of the reason why we even have this show, is to kind of get the word out about what's happening right here in your backyard, you know. And there's businesses that, you know, they'll see. I mean, I drive up and down 99 and I see that billboard, and I was like, damn, I live in Tulare, And Tulare, I mean, wrestling, and we don't have no billboards for those guys. So it's like, it tells me a lot. There's a huge story behind it. So it's kind of like, I remember when I was younger, there was a old movie that came out called Vision Quest. And that's what I told. That's what I thought of you guys. This is a real Vision Quest, man. You have that dedication and that support, and I'm sure you have some of the guys that are girls that might, get off the line a little bit that need adjustments too. So, so I'm sure there's some deep stories out there that we'll probably never know, but hopefully they'll write a book someday.
That's right. So, MMA, any of you guys interested in the future? Not now, or have any of you guys trained or dabbled anything with other martial arts? By any chance?
I remember, I used to do just mess around, but with judo. When back in the old days, we used to have Ralph. He used to show us a little something, and then I just mess around with it. That was just about it. I didn't really have any other experience in MMA.
I remember I went to a couple of jiu-jitsu classes, but that was one or two. But I still learned a lot. I still remember that to this day, what I learned.
I also remember it's us, we all grew up together again. So I remember we'd get together and just fight each other.
Oh yeah, we would have garage fights.
Garage fights.
With MMA gloves.
We
and
had some
everything.
pretty intense
People got choked out.
People got choked out. There was brackets.
Yeah.
There was brackets.
Tristan was one of those
There were some crazy stories in that garage.
Did anybody cry?
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
I know. I just
People locked themselves in the restroom. They're trying. I'm not gonna say names. No names.
I just
But it
played
got
it.
real intense.
I remember, we're not gonna say names, but one time somebody passed out.
Wow.
He didn't. That tells me two things.
We were
He's
freaking
stubborn and didn't tap, man.
Yeah, because it was 3 seconds left in the round. I remember, and he was I was there's 3 seconds left, and his face is turning red. He's like, I'm not gonna tap. I'm gonna win this.
Took a quick nap.
Oh, that was all bad. We were freaking out. We thought he died, honestly, but it was all good. He's alive.
There's wrestling in MMA is a pretty powerful tool. Alex Perez, Titania Suarez, and other wrestlers have really made a big mark. If it's not for you, what would you guys tell others that do wrestling? Do you think it's something that it's a sport to go towards? MMA as a wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys feel strongly about that? Or
Definitely, because
Yeah.
a lot of good fighters are wrestlers, and I feel like after wrestling, if you want to keep competing in a combat sport, MMA is the next move, because it's just a good transition, and I don't know, it's just a really good another combat sport that you could do well in as a wrestler.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you look through the history of the UFC and the decorated wrestlers that have competed, they all been champions. Even now, heavyweight and light heavyweight, Daniel Cormier. And he got both the belts. He's only the second guy in the history to ever do that. He's a wrestler. God, who else? Randy Couture. Matt Hughes. It goes on and on and on and on. And these guys are legends that are in the Hall of Fame.
Two of them are fighting this weekend. TJ and Cody, they both wrestled.
Yeah. So it goes on as far as wrestling. That base is a strong base. One of my good friends was a wrestler for 17 years and ended up getting into MMA when actually Corey Cass, he's the owner of Grappling X that comes to Clovis and all that stuff. Wrestler for 17 years and then got into jiu-jitsu. And as well as his instructor that he gave him his black belt, Javier Vasquez, wrestled for tons of years and probably was undefeated at 155 and king of the cage for, God, I don't know how long. But these are guys that proved that the coordination and what you have in wrestling can transition over, because right off the bat, a wrestler can't do nothing on their back.
Yeah.
Well, these guys, I know Corey came here, he had ACL surgery, And 3 weeks after that surgery, they offered him a fight at Tachi Palace. Okay, and he goes, who am I gonna fight? Well, it was one of their guys, and he said, well, how much are you gonna pay me? Took the fight, went in there, and submitted him with a Pluto armbar. 45 seconds, walked out with a belt and gave it back to him. Said, I'm fighting 45, not 55, but that was good. And Javi, the same thing too. I mean, he fought and lost, or actually he won. Alberto Crane, with a torn ACL, man, and ended undefeated, and never got to fight in the UFC. Was into the WEC when they were here in the morning. But yeah, I think it's a strong base to learn from, because you're striking, obviously, that comes. But there's a lot of wrestlers that I've seen that pick up the striking. I'm a boxing coach, so there's a lot of wrestlers that pick up the stand-up really good, and as they learn it, and they work especially in the clinch and the dirty boxing, oh my God, they excel real well. And as they work to the kicking and everything else, but majority of them will win in that clinch and in that dirty boxing, in that pocket fighting, which is strong, So, yeah, I mean, if I was in that position and I had an opportunity, or even a coach, to do that, I think that would be my first choice too. Because I mean, in wrestling, you can get your education, obviously get your degree on your chosen field, and then that fire's still going to burn somewhere. It's going to burn, and you just want that one more challenge, man. And I think that would be a good deal. And even if you don't turn pro, but just to try it out and see, you don't know.
Today, there's choices for you guys. Obviously, there's MMA, but then also just recently, we have a new program in town, Fresno State Wrestling, and along with that is the Valley Regional Training Center. So wrestlers that want to continue to get to the Olympic level, world level, we now have a program here close by at Fresno State. The program here is doing a lot of freestyle, Greco-Roman, and those that want to move on, now there's choices, right? There's the MMA and the Olympic Regional Training Center. Talking about coaches, and I'd like to each one of you guys give, a thanks to your parents, give your names, to your parents' name, your coaches. I know some of you guys have more coaches than others because, you reach out to your different coaching staff. Go ahead and then from left with you, Tristan, start, give some thanks to the parents, your coaches, and, just the people that helped you get here.
Okay, so I'd like to thank my mom and dad, Connie and Jesse Lujan. My coaches are always there for me. I have Joey AREYANO, Pepe Mendoza, one of my little consultants, Ricky, and my uncle's there, my uncle Ishmael Paul, and they do a lot for me, so I would like to thank them.
Nice.
I'd like to thank my parents and coaches as well. Coach Joey, Coach Pepe, Coach Rick, Coach Andy, all my high school coaches, and my club coaches, Coach Cleo and Coach Mike, for just always supporting me and being there for me.
I'd also like to thank my parents, my brother, and then my other coaches, Coach Joey, Coach Ricky, and Coach Cleo, and yeah.
I'll thank the same, my parents, my brother, Coach Joey, Coach Ricky, and Coach Cleo.
I want to thank just my parents and my coaches, Pepe Mendoza, Ricky Morales, Joey AREYANO, Sam Lopez, and Alex Perez. Like, all these people really molded me into the person I am today, and I just want to thank them for that.
I want to thank my coaches, my parents, my friends, and Spencer Steiner. Getting me better every day. It's good stuff.
Of course, I'd like to thank my parents, my teammates, the coaching staff, like the whole community of Selma. But I would like to take the time to thank Kuna. She's been an inspiration in my wrestling career. Began, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her. Yeah, so she even when I was young. She even got me a nice pair of Rulons that I still have today, which is pretty awesome.
You know, we have 3 wrestlers that weren't able to join us because, I mean, it just shows what Selma Wrestling's about. You know, Richard and Gracie Figueroa, they're out training, they're at a camp, they're still pursuing, you know, getting to get better. Jace Lucha, he's out there with Alex Perez training in Southern California. Perez has a fight August 4th. And it just goes without saying the dedication that the parents and the team and the coaches have. Chris, you want to wrap it up, or?
Yeah, that's it, man. Big shout out to the Selma wrestling team, man. God bless you guys in your future, man. Make you have the best success possible. Stay focused on your vision, and that's about it from MMA Fight Pass. Join us next week. We're gonna have Tachi Palace Fights matchmaker Richard Goodman in town.
All right,
That's it.
Thank you. Cool.